welcome. Here we are with on a Monday, Mental Health Monday. We're trying to make this a series, so hopefully, we get some people interested. Hopefully, but I always think, as long as we can help out one person, it makes it always worth it. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Mona Condulle, and I'm with the Cheyenne Arapaho Tradition Not Addiction Program. Some of you guys probably out there know me, seen me, recognize me. So they just called me in, and I accepted. So here I am.
Yes, we always appreciate when you can take the time to, help us out. You always have a lot of good words, so I feel like, we were kind of throwing the ideal around of like what. So of course, our mental health specialists, it would seem like this would be their area, but they're always busy. So it is Disability Awareness Month of March, and then Traumatic Brain Injury Awareness. So with those things being said, it when those things are going on in a person's life, more than likely they have a caregiver. So we thought it was important to maybe focus on the caregiver's health, their mental health, because there's so many. It's kind of like they're so worried about the task at hand. I don't know if you could really call it a task. Like they feel responsible, and they're so worried about that other person that maybe they forget to think about themselves. My experience with my grandma had Alzheimer's and dementia, and it was after I had gotten out of prison. I was 17 years old, and you know you realize like she needed 24-hour care. So me, my little brother, my little sister, and my mom, like we lived there, with her. So it always became because one time her dog Bowser, uh, she was trying to chase him and get him to come inside, and he kept going down the road, and she got like a block away from the house, and she was quite a bit, she was up there in age, and we understood like the concern, because we didn't want anything to happen to our grandma. It was always in like on our mind, and I was just there for a summer, and I ended up coming back to El Reno, but it just, I seen how draining that was, just that constant thought, like, is my grandma going to be okay? Is she safe? So would you like to tell us a little bit about your experience?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you guys for allowing me to be here and giving me this opportunity to share my story on mental health. March is Mental Health Month, and however, I'm wearing green, but not to represent St. Patrick's Day. Ever since I became a caregiver, green has a different meaning to me. It's a birthday, St. Patrick's Day. I wear it's to represent mental health and traumatic brain injuries, and so that just gave me a whole new meaning to wear green in March.
Yeah.
So I became a caregiver in June, August of 2020. Um, I am a caregiver to my oldest son, who is 33 years old. And before May of 2020, he was healthy, 28-year-old, had four kids, and at the time they were 3, 4, 5, and 6. And So anyway, he unfortunately suffered a traumatic brain injury that altered not only his life but my life, my entire family's life. I mean, our world was just turned upside down. And I want to bring in substance abuse because the way it happened was, he was an alcoholic and he suffered from substance abuse. He was drinking liquor every single day, and he was suffering. So he was also dealing with drugs on top of the alcohol. He was doing the drugs and meth, and but he kind of straightened up a little bit, and it saddens me because he wanted help, and during that time, he put in his application at the George Hopkins Center, and he was put on a waiting list. And during that time, that's when all of that happened. And he was in an altercation here in El Reno, and he was in an altercation, fell, hit his head, and suffered brain injury to his brain stem, and pretty much was put on life support. And during that time, it was COVID. It was at the beginning of COVID. So to me, it sounded like they were just trying to just get him out of there, and told me to go ahead and take him off life support. There's nothing we can do for him. He's brain dead. He suffered, his injuries are catastrophic. I mean, not, you have like different types of brain injury. You have like, just like you could get a minor concussion or a severe brain injury. Well, his was just like out of the ballpark. It was catastrophic. So they're talking, okay, death. As soon as he comes off the life support machine, he's going to die. That was the exact word. He's going to die. Well, I was finally allowed to go into the ICU trauma room here in Oklahoma City at OU, and so I went in there and I was prayed up. I was so prayed up that I just knew that my son was going to leave that hospital alive. And so I told him, well, you know what, go ahead, take him off life support, but he's going to continue living. And that's exactly what happened. However, he did suffer significant damage to his brain. So he was still in a coma. And basically they transferred him after about 2 months, they transferred him to this hospital. I forget the name of it, but it was basically to teach us how to be caregivers, because they said if he ever wakes up from the coma, that he won't be able to walk, he won't be able to talk, he won't be able to do anything that he did before, that he would be a vegetable. And so they were saying that, so I should just let him go to a nursing home, which I wasn't going to do that. So we agreed that he would come home with us. And so that's whenever they put him in that hospital to teach us how to become caregivers. And he came home, and after 3 days, he began to respond. He began to wake up, and that was 5 years ago. So since August 31st, I took him home. I brought him home, and he is bedridden, but he can stand, he can walk with assistance, he can talk, wow. And he can do all the things that the doctor said that he would never do. They said he was going to be a vegetable, but we still have to help him. We have to help him do things. We do have to help feed him through a tube. But so basically, that's my life since 2020, and my daughter, she's she's 23. My oldest son is now 33. Henry's 33. So this happened when he was 28. He'll be 34 this year. So my daughter, she's been helping me. My husband's been helping me. So just us three are the main caregivers. Like I'm fortunate that I have them because I can be here today to work. So um, so whenever I get off of work, it's like I'm not getting off of work. I'm going home and I got to go to work. Um, and I'm raising his kids. Um, so I go home and I got to do all these things. Change him. We take showers and we do everything for him. Everything. And at first it was really, really, really hard, especially, I didn't know how to deal with it. I was still like trying to accept the fact that of what happened, because my son, he is different. He's different. He's not the same before, but sometimes, God just he he gives him to me. He how to say this? he he I don't know. He gives him a day where he would talk just clear as day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Henry. It's Henry. Thank you, God, for giving me that, because sometimes I feel like I'd be getting depressed or I don't know. I mean, I just feel like I pray about it. I have to pray for myself because sometimes it's hard. It's hard. But like I said, I've got my husband and my daughter. My husband is, I mean, he's just like God sent. Without him, I don't know what I would be doing. He tells me, he's like, hey, you need to take time for yourself. You need to focus on you and go see a movie or go somewhere, whatever. And so, and I'm like, okay, so I'm out the door. Okay, I'll see you later. but, um, but it gives me time, time to be, just to relax and not worry about anything. And yes, I'll go to a movie, I'll go to church, I'll go to our pastor's small group meetings, and it like revives me, especially when I'm going to a small group meeting. I get revived not just for myself but in God's word, and I just feel like I get refreshed. Yeah, but yeah, it's a lot of work. A lot of work, and I mean that's just the tip of the iceberg that I'm sharing with you. I could sit here all day,
Yeah.
and tell you, but yeah.
Well, like just a mother's unconditional love. I gotta applaud you for the strength that you show. And the way that you just carry yourself so well. Like you would never know. Like, and I don't want to say it's a burden, but I know this weighs heavy on your heart. And how do you feel like, you know, uh, what do you feel like if you were to say something to another caregiver? What's something positive that you could pass on? As maybe just some advice or how to, because I from my understanding of of having to look after a loved one, uh, with my family, it was whenever my aunt Erin when she got diagnosed with cirrhosis, and they had to bring her home, and the family looked after her. My grandma, she had to work during the day, and it was my dad and her son and her daughter, and different ones, from the family would come and sit with her, and the nurse would come in maybe once a week, and until the end. uh, and that was like when I was locked up. I just got to hear about all them things, and and it always just made me wish like that I could have been part of that. But I never really thought about like the mental strain that something like that could cause. And we're like it's that unconditional love because we want to be a part of that process. So if there's anything that you feel like you could maybe say to a caregiver that maybe you know not understanding that they are having a mental strain, or that they are you know they might just need help and they don't know how to ask, or would you have some encouraging words for?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, take care of yourself. Go out, go and see a movie. That's what I would do. Go see a movie, or go get your nails done, or go out with your friend, or go to the casino. Just whatever you like to do, um, go do it. Just go and do something relaxing. I mean, go to the pool, go out and just do something that's positive. And I tell you what, though, we do these classes for the tradition, not addiction. We have these paint and palette classes. Oh man, those are awesome. Especially that's like a mental health like miracle right there, because your focus is on your painting, and even if you don't know how to paint, still do it, because I guarantee you, everything in your mind is focused on that painting, and everything that's going on in your life or whatever, it gets put on the back burner, and you're just totally focused into that painting. And I tell you, when I went to one of the treatment centers a couple weeks ago, and the clients there were like, they were just not into it. They did not want to be there.
Yeah.
They did not want to be there, and they even said that. That's why I know that. They told me we don't want to do this. But you know what? They I put the palette in front of them, gave them their paint, and they got the paintbrush. They started, and then they would not stop. They were just like, "Oh, help me do this, help me do that." I mean, they were just all into it. And by the time they were done with their paintings, they were just amazed with what they did, and it was so beautiful. All of their pictures, their paintings were beautiful, and they were just like surprised. They said, "I cannot believe that I really enjoyed this. You guys come back."
Yeah.
So we're going back next week, and hopefully we can do another activity. But that's one of the things you mentioned, is about sometimes you don't know that you're having a mental breakdown, or uh, sometimes, like, for example, like my husband, um, he was in the military, and he served like 3 tour duties in Iraq, and so he went down there, and he came back, and then when that last time that he went down there, he almost got blown up, and he messed up his legs, and anyway, so he was sent home, um, with a medical discharge or something. I can't remember, but anyway, so he gets home, and he started to like feel some kind of way. He wasn't sure what he was feeling. He just felt like that, just kind of like a weird feeling is how he said it, and like he was just like firecrackers. Firecrackers, is that how you say it? Firecrackers?
Yeah.
Okay, firecrackers. So like that was one of the first things that he noticed. Like whenever the firecrackers would go off, he started to get like real jumpy and paranoid, and and started to say to himself, something's not right, something's not right. So whenever you're having like mental issues and you just feel like something isn't quite right, you might want to get yourself checked out. So he didn't know it, but that's what he did. He went to see a doctor because that's how bad it got.
Yeah.
That's how bad it got. He went to go see a doctor, and they referred him to a behavioral health.
Yeah.
And that's when he found out that he had PTSD. And um, and now today that he's doing much better. It's controlled by medication, but he started to get depressed, and I mean, it was just like he was just going down.
Mm-hmm.
But the medication is helping, and he was suffering from, well, still does suffer from nightmares.
Yeah.
And but like I said, the medication, and he would have never known it if he did not reach out and ask for help. And that's what we got to do. We got to
Yeah.
reach out. We got to ask for help. And I know that for me, like I feel like I suffer from anxiety, and I have panic, or used to have panic attacks. I still do here and there, but not like I used to. Like in my early 20s, oh my goodness, I would just be sitting there in a calm environment, and then all of a sudden, I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die, for no reason. Like, why am I feeling like this? And I literally thought I was going to die, and I did not know why. And thinking back, I never reached out for help or asked anybody. But looking back, it was anxiety, panic attacks, and that's a mental health. Yeah, that's a mental health issue. And I could have gotten help through like medication or whatever. And even like if you're going to go somewhere and you're going to fly, and I had to go to the doctor because I had this fear of flying, and I was going to a conference up in Washington, D.C., and this was just like a couple of years ago. And I got ready, and I got my bags packed, got my computer ready, and everything. I mean, I got approved, my TA was approved, and I got everything. Everything was ready to go, and I'm ready to go out the door. And then all of a sudden, I got dizzy. I got so dizzy that the room was spinning, and I couldn't walk. I could not walk.
Wow.
And I was like, I was telling my husband, I was like, help me, help me, like trying to hold on to him. And so anyways, we figured it out that it was my anxiety level. And I ended up calling my supervisor, my boss, and saying that I started getting sick because everything was spinning. So I feel like I made myself sick, or I don't know, just the fear of flying made me sick to the point where I couldn't do anything. I mean, I was literally in bed and would not move an inch because one movement, the room would start spinning. And so anyways, I ended up not going on that trip because of my anxiety.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it I don't know. I mean, I feel like that I'll never be able to fly because of that, but I'm working on it. Sometimes you got to face your fears, but that's one thing that you need to just be mindful that if you're feeling some kind of way, I mean, it's okay to reach out for help, or because you don't know if you're falling into a depression or if you're having anxiety. It's okay to ask somebody for help because I mean, that's what I should have done. That's what I should have done. And my husband did it, and he's better now. He's better now. So yeah, I just encourage you just to ask for help, because if you fall into a depression, or if it can get worse.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, you're talking suicide here now. So So definitely, take care of yourself, and if you feel in some kind of way, just ask for help. Go see a doctor. I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stigma.
Yeah.
That's one thing
Oh,
that we
absolutely.
always say about mental health. I remember I was trying to tell one of my friends a long time ago, like, trying to tell one of my friends, like about, maybe I think I had something mentally going on. And it was,
Are you crazy?
yeah, he was telling me, "Oh, you sound nuttier than squirrel terriers," and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to pour my heart out over here. He makes a joke and we just cracked up. And then that was the end of the conversation.
Oh my, yeah. See.
Like
Yeah.
I was like, okay, just suck it up, and
Yeah.
but definitely a lot of stigma around mental health.
Yeah.
You know,
You don't want to be labeled as a nut.
yeah. I mean, but at the same time, you don't want to go through life suffering.
Exactly.
Like you deserve to be happy, just like, and even if you're not happy, like, everything ain't ice cream and rainbows every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
But like we were, I got to go down and talk to Bobby. She runs Pathways to Community Living, which is a program that deals with a lot of elders. And they deal with a lot of caregivers. So when they have elders traditional night, it is like geared towards caregivers. They want to give the care. Bring, you can bring whoever, or maybe you can have somebody, sit with, whoever you're taking care of, and just come focus on yourself for a minute.
Yeah.
Come share a meal. You'll get a little bit of culture too. I believe the next one that they're having is March 25th in Watanga, from 3 to 6 at the ERC. And, it's with Pathways to Community Living, which I said, they deal with a lot of our elders. And, I think it's very important, that the caregivers, and this is what Bobby was saying too, was that, when she took care of her aunt, anytime she was away from her aunt, like it was like a constant worry. Is she gonna fall? Is she safe?
Yeah.
Like all these things are like going through her mind, because she's just trying to hold on to her job, but she don't want anything to happen to her aunt. And it's at the end of the day, more than likely they're safe, right? They're okay. But like you don't like just that mental picture of maybe something happening, that can create a lot of stress. That can create a lot of uneasy feelings that maybe a lot of people don't know how to deal with. Because, like I said, people have that unconditional love. That they just want everything to be as good as they can for that person. So I love the fact that Bobby and them are able to provide. They've been to Hammond, Sealing, Clinton, and now they'll be in Watauga. I mean, and it also meets their some of their programs deliverables, their grant deliverables, but at the same time, like I think it's a positive way to because most of the time people are just worried about the person that they're taking care of. And they'll have different sessions on maybe on how to bathe, somebody, on how to, changing positions, like these things that, maybe they had no idea, my mom was a nurse, so, and then my little sister, because of my grandma, became a nurse, so it was like, like, that's how much it had an effect on them. My grandma, my little sister was like a huge grandma's baby. Like you had, like they're like, and it's crazy because I seen a picture of my grandma when she was a little girl, my sister looks exactly like her. Exactly like her, you know. So I mean, I love that for my sister because she was, you know, she was the only girl in the family, and you know, I love that, you know, for my sister. But you know, it's just trying to. I think when we're trying to get these caregivers together, you know, maybe they can share stories. You know, because I mean, it, it's not like a support group, but I guess you could say, you know, they want them to understand that they're not alone. You know, like they're not alone when it comes to these types of situations. And you know, it's got to be tough. What do you feel like was one of the first things that you didn't know? You know, like would be a constant. Like when you get home, like is there like do you have like a process that you go through? And what you know? So like, do you plan around that process?
Well, at first, it was really, really hard because Henry was always trying to crawl out of the bed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we had to sometimes put restraints on him,
Mm-hmm.
especially at night. But now he's just kind of more relaxed and he's just kind of chill, sit there and uh, not like he used to be because I don't know what the brain, we don't know what our brains are doing, but
Yeah.
um, so I think the way that the doctor described it, that it's like rewiring because it was so
Yeah.
traumatized when it was injured. So so at that time, I mean, we we really couldn't leave his side. I mean, if I had to go to the bathroom, I had to call somebody in there. Okay, you got to watch him. And so, I mean, it was like that, and that was like really, really stressful. But like I said, as time went by, it got easier. We were able to, go to the kitchen, wash the dishes or whatever, and go check on him or whatever. But yeah. Like I said, we have three caregivers in my home alone, so I'm able to go and go to the laundromat and wash my comforters, or go to church and do things. But sometimes my other caregivers, they need a break too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so my daughter, she goes with her boyfriend, or, with her friends or whatever, and my husband, he likes to go to the country a lot because we have 5 horses, and he likes and that too. Horses are
Oh,
therapy.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's good for his mental health. And but I enjoy being with my son because he literally almost died. So I'm just grateful and thankful that he's here with me today, and I'd do anything for him.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, but it's also good to, um, check on those. Like my father, he just had a stroke back in June,
Mm-hmm.
a major stroke, and he's been bedridden too. So for a little bit, I was going to work, leaving here, going home, checking on Henry, leaving my house, going to my dad's house, checking on my dad and my mom, and and doing things for him. And we were just like this, all alternating and having different shifts and stuff. Because now it's not just Henry, it's like my dad too that suffered a stroke, and I was just with him yesterday, and he can talk still, he can communicate, he's just bedridden, but you can tell that he's not the same as
Yeah.
before, because that's one of the things why my son Henry, why he can't really, his words don't come out clear, is because he during his brain injury, he suffered like multiple strokes.
Wow.
Yeah, like, I mean, just I can't even tell you how many strokes that he had. while he was in the coma in the hospital. So he suffered many strokes, and then now my dad, he suffered a stroke. And but I always ask them constantly. Just like yesterday when I was with my dad, I asked him when I was like, Dad, I was like, are you okay? You're not feeling depressed or unhappy or anything? And he assured me he wasn't. And I said, well, if you are, you just let me know. Just let me know, okay? Because I can get you some help. So, you want to ask your friends if they're acting different, or if they feel like they're sad, or if they lost somebody, a family member. Please check on them, because they're mentally, especially when they're in mourning. I mean, they're just like, they're really really sad, going through something terrible. Losing a loved one, that's terrible. And so you want to check on their mental health, even though they not know that they're suffering mentally. They are. So always check on them. Always check on them.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
point. I like what you said about your husband recognizing when you need some time.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. I didn't know you had 5 horses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So that's pretty awesome. And horses are, they're soothing animals.
Mm,
You can't be no kind of way towards a horse.
no.
So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. He got me a horse for my birthday, and he named it. Well, it was already named Froggy, and then he bought me the horse, and it was a race horse. And then we entered the horse in a race in, I think, somewhere past Tulsa.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. I know where you're talking about.
Okay, so he took the horse down there, and
Was it Salazar?
I don't know. It could be. It could be. But it was like quarter horses over there. So he raced that horse. And anyways, he came back, and he's like, they claimed the horse. And I was like, what is that? What is claim the horse? He said, somebody bought the horse. I was like, what? I didn't even get to meet the horse. I was so mad. After that, I thought, I don't want no horses anymore. You just buy for yourself.
So you didn't give them to your dad? Yeah.
Right?
So your husband brought you back here.
I know. They gave me the money then. It was like $8,000. So I was like, all right. Yeah. But my mom, she's funny because she likes to go to the casino, and she's been taking me, or I've been taking her, because she's 84 years old. So she's like, I want to go to the casino, and so I've been going with her to the casino and driving for her. And so anyway, I really don't like to gamble, but I was gambling, and anyways, I ended up getting a jackpot.
Of course.
I hit that jackpot. And
Hey.
but I hit 16,000.
What?
And yes.
Where's it at?
I put
She bought 2 horses.
Wow.
But that's one of the things. That's why I like to take my mom, because she says, I don't think about anything when I go to the casino. It just relaxes me.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, okay, well, let's go. But yeah, so
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, let me 20s,
I'm
man.
like, yeah, boom. 20.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on here.
Well, I'm glad you asked me.
Yes, because thank God, Christina gave me the idea. Let me know. I always have to go to Christina. Like, what month is it?
Good.
She said it's it's disability awareness. And then you said it's traumatic brain injury.
Yeah.
So you deal with a lot of that.
Yeah.
So I thought, why not? You're a beaming light. for maybe somebody that's having trouble, and I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your experience. When you think about that unconditional love, I hope Henry knows how lucky he is, and how fortunate he is to have your husband and your daughter, man, I, if something was to happen to me, I don't know what would, I don't know what would happen to me.
Natalie put you in the nursing home.
Yeah. Change my diaper, Natalie.
Change your diaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
His apartment's it's already.
Yeah. But I really appreciate you coming on. I just want to say thank you. Do you have any events that are coming up, or
Well, actually,
any paint palettes?
you mentioned Bobby, the elders program, or what the
Halfway
elders night?
community.
Yeah. Okay, so they're having their event on March 25th, and we're doing a paint palette. I'll be the instructor, so you guys come on out and paint with us. I'm not a painter. I mean,
She's good though. She's good.
I try, but it's fun teaching. Showing them kids and everybody how to do these. But if you were there, I'd be like, your face.
He wouldn't even see it coming.
I know.
Oh, Nelly, I'll draw an eyeball on your eye.
He laughed at himself first. And he's like, oh.
Do we have any comments before?
Yeah.
We had a few. Joanne said, hello, enjoy your day.
Thank you, tuning
Joanne
in.
Black.
Joanne.
Charlene said, I was with my mom to her last day on earth.
Oh,
It's been the most
Okay.
honorable thing and I feel I've ever done.
yes.
And then-
Kay was the sweetest lady ever.
Kathy B said, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Cassie. But yeah, Kay, she was an outstanding human being. She was really she was in a class of her own. I can't say
Was she
enough
from
great
Oklahoma?
things. Yes, I believe so.
Tell
Right?
about when Leah introduced you to.
No, I'm not. But
Yeah.
she's my niece and nephews. I have 3 nieces and nephews from that family, and man, they love their grandma. She was such a great person. So thank you, Charlene, for the comment. I have nothing but great things to always say about her. She was an amazing person.
And Charlene's an amazing person.
Yes,
for
she is.
Being
Yes,
a
she is.
caregiver
Yeah.
for her mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Darian's aunt, and that's my ex-sister-in-law.
Oh.
Yeah,
Maybe my ex-uncle.
yeah, but he can call me uncle. Just let me
I haven't told him that he can stop. I've always been there for him.
Like, he gets weird when he sits on my lap, and whatever.
Puts me on his head.
Yeah, carry him around. Yeah. But
But we
we're glad you could come on. I'm always just so proud of how honest you are about your story. And I know that the person that needed to hear this, I know they would want to say thank you and they appreciate, what you do for our people. And not only for the caregivers, but our kids. You go into the schools. How many years of sobriety do you have?
I have this month is 34 years.
Wow! Wow! I think you've been sober longer than Domingo's been alive.
Oh
so.
my goodness.
That's right.
Okay, let's just next.
But that's amazing, So I just want to say thank you for all the work that you do. We're always happy to have you on here. So
Anytime. Yes.
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. And like, share, follow, tell your mammy about us. And we will see you again tomorrow. Would you like to say goodbye to anybody or?
Well, just shout out to everybody out there that's watching, and all those that are in recovery right now. I support you. You're doing great. Keep it going, and God bless every one of you, and may watch over all of us.
Well, thank you so much. We will see you again tomorrow. I hope.
Hey,